From the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland, this is the Boxing Along the Beltway Post-Fight Wrap-Up Show. The Boxing Along the Beltway Post-Fight Wrap-Up Show is brought to you in part by UndisputedBrand.com. Visit UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champions wear. And by Real-Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas for shoulder pain and muscle strain and everything in between. Boxing Along the Beltway recommends Real-Time Pain Relief, the fast, safe, plant-based ointment. Don't forget, you go to www.freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief, you get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. Well, crowd has filed out of this beautiful facility here at the MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. A crowd of 2,159 people saw tonight's card, which actually is a great attendance given the fact that this was a sort of a lesser-known card compared to what we saw last week with Lomachenko and Sosa. Didn't have the big names and all, but in big respect, Baltimore and the surrounding areas showed up in droves tonight, and they brought in a big crowd here tonight for the Baltimore boxers that were on attendance.
It is exactly what was expected. Mm-hmm. You know, like you said, like you just explained it perfectly. Mm-hmm. A world title fight like Lomachenko, mm-hmm. and bringing on an interim WBA title, followed by that. With a smaller, lesser crowd, yeah. You know, but still a great turnout for the area, especially just for area fighters.
No question about it. Good, of course, all the area boxers that are on the A side of the ledger won tonight, including Hasim Rahman. We talked about that earlier. We talked about well, we didn't talk about Hasim was the only one that had fought at that point. So I think for me, the performance of the night, in all honesty, I mean, Malik Hawkins notwithstanding with a good one, but Glenn DeZern put on a great show tonight against Leroy Davila in a really tough bout.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough bout mm-hmm. for the Glenn DeZern. He was in there with a tough opponent, a tough game opponent. Mm-hmm. You know, and to me, it was closer. To me, it was a closer bout than what they scored it.
I thought so.
And DeZern, you know, he stuck it out, and I think maybe it was the way he ended some of those rounds, that really pulled it out for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was the case. I mean, Glenn DeZern had it in that eighth round, one of the best rounds I've seen in quite some time, and Davila caught DeZern in a few of those shots in the eighth round, but Glenn DeZern landed one crushing shot in the eighth round that I don't know if that was the main situation for him getting the win in the bout, but I think it definitely contributed to the win for Glenn DeZern. So DeZern now 9-0, 6 KOs. Leroy Davila loses for the first time. He's 5-1, 3 KOs. Of course, Malik Hawkins, we said, outstanding performance. He was dominant against Carlos Soto here tonight.
Yeah, with this performance now, I want to see which direction they go with him. Mm-hmm. Tougher fights, you know, especially being on television as a young fighter starting his career off. Now we're going to actually see how far they push him. Yeah. They have to press the gas a little bit more to actually let people see where he really is as a welterweight.
Yeah, no question about that. Malik Hawkins raising his record now 11-0, 8 KOs. Carlos Soto losing for the first time, 13-1-2, 7 KOs. And of course, Malik Hawkins as we said earlier, had a couple of bouts fall out. I mean, including a guy that was really going to be, I think, a tough guy, Taras Shilstuk, a well-known Olympian and a very, very experienced boxer in his own right. And, of course, our main event tonight, Dmitry Bivol, his manager, Vadim Tokarev said a new star may have been born tonight with Dmitry Bivol, and what was a dismantling, and a surprising one at that, against Samuel Clarkson tonight. And
with saying that, you have to notice from towards the end of last year coming into this year, we're getting a lot of overseas fighters coming to the United States to win championships. Mm-hmm. And they're coming to dominate a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And tonight, they're allowing a lot of, before I get to the night, promoters are allowing a lot of these young fighters to fight for championships. And when they give them the opportunity, they're taking advantage of it. Mm-hmm. And that's what he did tonight, because Clarkson was a tough opponent, was brought in to be a tough opponent. Mm-hmm. Let me say it that way.
And Bivol thought it would be.
And I thought it was going to be a tough fight for him, but so Bivol did a very excellent job breaking him down early, put him down twice in the first round.
Yeah, we talked, the reporters here at ringside talked to Bivol after the fight and talked about he thought it was going to take him 4 or 5 rounds to get going, and he got going literally almost from the first punch of the first round. And he was able to do damage here. And Bivol now 10-0, 8 KOs, knocked down Clarkson 3 times in the bout. Clarkson 19-4 with 12 KOs. And last bout, just finishing up, Travis Reeves with a really solid performance. And you can see the growth in Travis Reeves because a couple years ago, he faced a somewhat similar opponent in Lamont Capers in the sense that they were awkward fighters. And the first time Reeves faced Capers, we've talked about it before, he didn't handle Capers very well. Tonight, he handled Capers handled Goico very, very well and able to get out. I thought a shutout victory. I don't know how 2 judges saw it, 78-74. I agree with Lynn Carter on that one. I was a shutout for Reeves tonight.
Yeah, it definitely was. But now we got to see Reeves has, so far in the area, he's been doing very well. But now the question is, can he get in the mix with some of these other light heavyweights?
And that makes some road trips along the way.
And that's when he's going to have to hit the road and fight some very tough fights, which he's game to do.
Yeah.
He's already said it, and that's the only way he's going to prove himself.
No question about it.
You know, and that's what he has to do. You know, especially fighting in this game, you have to, you know, you put yourself in a position where you're not looked at as a possible contender. You have to put yourself and say you are a contender, and I think he's ready for that.
No question about that. Travis Reeves is now 14-2-2, 7 KOs. Daniil Goico now 9-10-1 with 4 KOs. So we end what has been, I think, to safely put it, a successful 6 days of boxing here at the MGM National Harbor Casino. 2 outstanding cards, 2 great crowds. And just, I think we have hit a new plateau. And I said it after after Lomachenko Sosa, the landscape physically has changed in the Beltway area for boxing.
Yeah, they're going to start looking at this area just like Atlantic City, the Barclays at one time, you know, and now Atlantic City's faded out.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be the new area.
No question about it. Everybody who's come through here, both the promoter for Bob Arum, Top Rank Boxing, the promoters here tonight for Greg Cohen and Banner Promotions were in love with this facility. Both networks seem to be in love with this facility, and so it's just a great thing because we're back here May 20th. For Gary Russell Jr. taking on Oscar Escandón. And, of course, again, as we said, that is going to be a big night, big day for the Beltway because in the afternoon, as we mentioned earlier, Gervonta Davis will be defending his IBF Super Featherweight Championship on Showtime early in the afternoon against Liam Walsh from London, England. And then he'll come right back here to MGM to cover the show here tonight. That night, May 20th, Gary Russell Jr. versus Oscar Escandón. So that's a big day for the Beltway, no question about it.
Definitely a big day. And it really, the truth will come out as far as if this area is considered one of the spots, what happens after that May 20th fight. If it continues to roll on and bring in more outside promoters to come in to use this venue, use this location as far as the DMV area as a place for boxing, then we know they solidified themselves, you know, as far as one of the scenes.
Yes, indeed. No question about it. So that will do it here. Don't forget, we've got the Junior Olympics both in Baltimore and at Rosecroft Raceway. Baltimore will be at Upton Boxing Center. And, of course, the Washington Junior Olympics will be at Rosecroft Raceway. We will be at Rosecroft Raceway 1 week from tonight, I guess we can say now. 1 week from Saturday. April 22nd for the Regional Golden Glove Championships. And don't forget on the Box on Beltway Boxing News and Notes podcast, we will preview that entire card for you for Saturday, April 22nd. We're on the air at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Put a 7:30 start from Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. We got some big cards coming up along the way, both in May and in June. So it just keeps rolling right along in the Beltway area. So make sure you stay with us. That'll do it here from MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Don't forget the Boxing on the Beltway News and Notes and Boxing on the Beltway Post-Fight Wrap-Up Show brought to you by UndisputedBrand.com. UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champions wear. And by Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. For Juan Marshall, I'm Gary Digital Williams saying so long from Oxon Hill, Maryland. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world. The boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.